Hello there and welcome to another video on the Ordinary Boy Boxing channel. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the heavyweight fight between Deontay Wilder and Helenius. The fight happened on the 15th of October in Brooklyn, New York. This was Wilder's comeback fight after his trilogy with Fury, and obviously he was up against Helenius. The last three for these fighters, so the last three fights for Wilder coming into this fight was a draw against Tyson Fury, and then a knockout loss against Tyson Fury, and then another knockout loss against Tyson Fury. For Helenius, he fought Kalnaki twice and beat him both times by TKO, and also before that fought Matthias Osorio, if I'm saying that name correctly. All three of those fights for Helenius were TKO wins. So going into this fight, this was very much the comeback fight for Deontay Wilder, and I felt coming into it, Helenius was tailor-made for a comeback fight for Deontay Wilder. He's 38 years old, he's a veteran in the sport. I thought he'd be more durable than he was. The fight ended in round one, 2 minutes 57 into round one, so right at the end of round one. So there's no scorecards I can give for this fight. It will be quite a quick review. There wasn't a lot we can gauge from what we saw, really. Wilder's got freakish knockout power and he displayed it in that fight. It's a shame the fight didn't go longer. It would have been good to see where Wilder is now. And it's probably a little bit of a shame for Wilder as well, because I can imagine, although I'm sure he's very happy with that spectacular knockout win, he would have liked a few more rounds under his belt. But it is what it is. Wilder won by knockout. He is now going to fight Andy Ruiz. That's what the rumours are, at least. That'll be a fantastic fight. That'll be a really, really special fight. I'm really hoping that happens, so I can discuss that on the channel with you when that gets announced. Yeah, there's not a lot to say on this fight. It was how I expected it to be. I thought, as I said, I thought it might go on a little bit longer. Helenius was a very clever matchmaking for Wilder. Yeah, and it was a good knockout. Wilder's always great with the explosive knockouts, and this was no different. This will definitely be a highlight reel. I'm not sure after the trilogy with Fury where Wilder is now. Quite just before this fight got announced, I wouldn't have been surprised if he'd have actually retired, which is rare that people do that in boxing. But yeah, it was getting left so long, I thought this may be the end for Wilder, but he is back. He cried after the fight. He was very emotional. I do wonder where Wilder's head is at the moment. Him against Ruiz would be very, very exciting. There's surely a knockout in that fight somewhere. I think that will be fight of the year contender, whatever year that happens. Hopefully next year. And then the winner of Wilder and Ruiz, you know, really to me is the rightful #1 contender to fight Fury or Usyk if those two ever fight. So yeah, good from Wilder. I think it's nice to have Wilder back in the heavyweight division. He's an exciting fighter. He's someone people always talk about. And at the end of the day, he's a knockout artist, and he's an American heavyweight, and he's an ex-heavyweight champion. He's always going to be watchable with Wilder. I don't know how it did this fight on pay-per-view over in America, and I don't know what the ticket sales were like. I always think it's a bit of a shame for Wilder because, you know, an American knockout heavyweight should really be the biggest draw in boxing, and he isn't. Him and Fury obviously did really well, but how much of that was Fury as well, and how much was it? How good those fights were. Hopefully, I mean, I'm a fan of Wilder. I think he said some really stupid things about wanting a body on his record and silly things like that. But I think overall, he's a very entertaining fighter to watch, and the heavyweight division is actually better for him being involved in it. So sorry, yeah, it's a really, really short review for a really, really short fight. This video is longer than the actual fight was, at least. But yeah, so that's what I thought of Wilder versus Helenius. I'm looking forward to seeing Wilder versus Ruiz next, fingers crossed. And as for Helenius, I'm sure he'll carry on. 38 years old, but he really has had a long career, and I can imagine that there's still some money out there for him to be earned. I was glad he got the payday. I've always quite liked Helenius. So yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Did you watch the 3-minute fight? What did you think? I know there was some talk about the punch being the knockout not being legitimate. I don't buy into that. I think it was a legitimate knockout. That's the only other thing I'll say. Did you think that? Who would you like to see Wilder fight next? And if he fights Ruiz, how do you see that fight going? Thank you for watching this video, and until next time, take care.